Welcome back to another episode of the Trash Talk Podcast. Today we are doing something special. Today is the first Trash Talk podcast that we are directly competing against you. That is you watching. Well, JJ is today. And that's going to happen in a round of pub quiz trivia questions. We're going to be doing quick fire rounds, and it's going to work the following way. I have dug up pubquizquestionshq.com. There's a lot of pub quiz questions, just random trivia stuff. First result on DuckDuckGo, I'll win with it. The point is going to be, I'm going to be asking questions
like the whole
here.
conversationstartersroll.com thing, where it's like, if you're looking for conversation starters, that's what you're going to find.
Listen, I like website names, get right to the point. It's appreciated. It's going to go the following way. I will be asking these questions quick fire. That means I'm going to be asking a lot of them, and JJ will answer them. We're going to do this the following way. I'm going to answer the questions. We will wait for 2 seconds. In those 2 seconds, you will pause the video, answer the question, grab a score sheet, by the way, grab a sheet. You'll answer the question for yourself. Hit continue. JJ will answer it. And whenever you out there watching get one right, you'll mark it down. Whenever JJ gets one right, he makes a tag on his list, and at the end, we'll tally up the points. That's how we do. I don't know how many questions there will be. We'll just see how many we get through in like 15 minutes or something. We're not going to go super long, but there is apparently a lot of sheets here. I have no idea what these are about. I'm assuming they're all sorts of trivia about everything. Just skimming over them. I know like some of them, and some of them I've never heard of, so it's fun. Probably going to be very interesting. So JJ, are you ready? And people out there, get your score sheets, get a pencil, and just start going to town. And then
I am ready. I do actually have a pencil and also a score sheet. So
JJ, make sure to stop for like just a second after I ask the question, and then I'm going to need you to answer, say within like 5 to 10 seconds after that to keep it snappy. All right?
Yes.
All right. Question number 1: which is the largest ocean?
The Pacific?
That is correct. Brian Lara played international cricket for which national side? Brian Lara.
England?
The correct answer is the West Indies. Which pop star was born in Gary, Indiana on August 29th, 1958?
Pop star born in 58. The rest is almost irrelevant. Pop star born in 50.
I don't need an answer here.
Would have been popular around the 70s. I have no idea.
The answer is Michael Jackson.
Oh, that does make sense, yes.
Which smoked fish might you expect to be served with cream cheese and lemon juice in canopies?
Salmon?
Salmon is correct. Which TV character was first portrayed by William Hartnell in 1963 and most recently by Peter Capaldi?
That second part is wrong, because the question is outdated.
Okay.
But that
makes
the
me
Doctor,
feel like you know it.
Most recently played not by Peter Capaldi, but by what's her face? I should not have said that. I'm bad with names.
Well,
anyways, Jodie Whittaker. But yes,
okay,
I
cool.
had it.
Yes, Doctor Who is the correct answer. Which former England footballer scored against Morocco in a pre-World Cup 1998 friendly to become, at the time, England's youngest goal scorer? That is English football, aka soccer.
Wait, 98, you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, since it's an English soccer player and I don't know many of them, I feel like that might have been too early, but Beckham?
The correct answer is Michael Owen, but that would have maybe been also on my answer.
Yeah,
Michael Owen is the correct answer.
I probably know literally one British soccer player, okay?
Quite possibly. Russell Crowe plays Inspector Javert in which 2012 film? Russell Crowe.
I don't know.
Inspector Javert. The answer is Le Miserable, which is French for, I think, the miserable ones or something. Which color gives its name to the region of space-time that has such strong gravitational effects that nothing can escape?
Black hole, right?
That is correct. The black hole.
That's what they're going for.
Strictly also, I think, not a color, but a contrast. But who's counting?
Who
Who is the Roman
cares?
goddess of love?
Ooh, now not just okay, Aphrodite. Wait, Roman, you said Venus.
Roman. I'm gonna
I
count that. Venus is the correct answer because I know
I
you know it, but you just missed
I
it
always get those
after
mixed
trying
up, and
not
it's
to.
I specifically was like, what did he say?
Yeah.
Aphrodite. Wait, no, he said Roman. Fuck.
Yes,
Yeah,
correct. Venus is
that
correct.
is.
Fortisar Kelvin Brodus Jr. is the birth name of which U.S. rapper known for the hit singles Gin and Juice and Drop It Like It's Hot?
I don't know rap. I don't know.
You would know the answer if I also told you he's the most famous pothead in history. The answer is, of course, Snoop Dogg.
Yeah,
That's
that
a
would
little
have in
name.
fact helped. Yes.
I get a different name too. Appaloosa, French Trotter, and Mustang are all breeds of which animal?
Horse.
Horse is the correct answer. Which singer had a 2011 hit with Born This Way?
Lady Gaga.
That is the correct answer. JJ's on a hot streak, almost. Which Steve Carell movie has the tagline, "The longer you wait, the harder it gets"?
I don't know.
The correct answer is The 40-Year-Old Virgin. I have never heard of this either.
Oh, I have heard of that. I believe that's the one where they wax him, like for real, which is hilarious because he didn't know how painful it would be, and they just filmed it. So that was good.
Oh, they
I
just
think
did.
that's from that
Wow,
one.
that's pretty good. That's pretty cool. Kurt Cobain was the lead vocalist with which U.S. rock band?
One, two,
You can
Nirvana.
answer. Nirvana is the correct answer. Also, a good candidate for the GOAT, but we will debate it at some other point. In which sport might you compete for the claret jug? Or claret jug? I don't know. Claret jug. You may answer.
In which sport? Soccer?
The answer is golf.
Golf. That makes sense. I figured it might have been like it could have been like from like a specific national league of some sport that
Yeah,
where you know the sport but you don't know the award.
maybe. Wolfgang Amadeus is the first name of which Austrian composer? You may answer.
Mozart.
That is the correct answer. It's Mozart. An Anglophile is a supporter or admirer of what? Anglophile.
I would suspect that would be the English.
I will let that count. It says English or British customs or people.
Well,
That is correct.
the English literally means English people. I mean that. Yeah.
The logo for Chang beer features two of which animal?
What is it? Chang beer.
Chang beer.
Swans.
The answer is elephants. By the way, can you check if this is possible, and if we don't get into legal trouble, put like the background music from Who Wants to Be a Millionaire over this whole topic? That would be cool
Oh,
if you can do that in the edit.
I can
Which
see
former
about the legality of that. Yeah.
yeah, which former question of sport captain was known for his flying dismount?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Which former question of sport captain was known for his flying dismounts?
Question of sport captain? Did you say that?
Yes.
I don't even fully get the question. I have no idea.
The correct answer is Frankie Dettori. And that concludes the first sheet as we move on to the second sheet of the quick
That means I
round.
probably
Okay,
miscounted somewhere because I feel like I have 10 correct questions and 9 wrong ones, which means I forgot to check
that's
off
possible.
something. Is it
I'm not sure if it's 20.
first sheet really 9 is it really 19 questions?
It doesn't say anywhere. I'm not. No, it's just random. I think could be true. Okay, everyone catch a little break. Taking a sip of coffee. It's 9 p.m., but he's doing it anyway. Which British band released the album Different Class in 1995?
British band 95. Ooh,
You may answer.
Probably. The thing is, all the British bands that come to mind are probably too
I'm gonna need an
The
answer here.
Clash?
The answer is not the
Sorry, I
Clash,
did.
unfortunately.
Yeah, I didn't hear what you said. Can you please repeat? Oh, okay.
Pulp, as in Pulp Fiction, just pulp.
Yeah.
What is the name for a female fox?
I don't know, and I feel like I should know that. That seems like
The
something I
answer
would
is
know.
Vixen, which as I know more as the name of one of the reindeers.
Yes. No, I mean, I have heard the word before. I would not have known the
I
association.
haven't. I would have thought maybe like a Volpira or something stupid. How old was Bruce Lee when he died? 32, 42, or 52?
I'm gonna go with 42.
32 is the answer.
Wow.
He was 30 years old. Yeah, pretty young. In Britain, the Department for the Environment, Food and Rural Affairs is better known by which acronym?
I don't know.
The answer is the DEFRA, quite intuitively.
Oh, it's
How
okay.
many?
Fair enough. I
Yeah.
literally just had to. Okay.
How many states are there in the United States of America?
Well, let's see. There's 50.
Yeah, it's 50. 50 is correct. Douglas is the capital of which self-governing crown dependency in the Irish Sea?
Excuse me? I don't know.
You heard me. The answer is the Isle of Man.
Oh, right. That is pretty much the only
It's
self-governing
pretty
roll-on
much the
territory
only
in that area,
self-governing
right?
crown
Yeah.
dependency in the Irish Sea, yes. Which English comic actor did Charlie Chaplin call his favorite clown?
I don't know.
The answer is Sir Norman Wisdom. I said Wisdom. Which 1990 film starring Patrick Swayze has the tagline, "Before Sam was murdered, he told Molly he'd love and protect her forever"?
That is a long tagline.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
The answer is Ghost. I've only ever heard of Roadhouse, and that is because of Family Guy. That is how cultured we have with movies. The Bone Clocks is a 2014 book from which English novelist?
I have no idea.
The correct answer is David Mitchell.
Never heard of him.
Triglav is the highest mountain in which southern Central European country? Southern Central Europe country. Triglav.
Italy? Is that southern Central Europe?
The answer
What?
is Slovenia. So the answer is Slovenia. Close, but not quite the same. Joey Dunlop, John McGuinness, and Ian Hutchinson are famous names from which motorsport?
Motorsport. Wait. What were the names? Can you please just... It's Dunlop? They definitely...
Joey Dunlop, John McGuinness, and Ian Hutchinson.
Well, one of those has a tire named after him, probably. Motorsport. Well, there's only a couple of those. I'm gonna go with Formula One.
It's motorcycle racing.
Oh, it's
Two
motorcycle racing.
2 wheels too many.
To be fair, I would have either guessed Formula One or NASCAR, so it's like it would have either way been 4 wheels.
It would have gone cars. Which Manchester-born comedian presented TV's Blankety Blank between 1984 and 1990?
Dude, why is the second sheet so much harder? I don't know.
The answer is Les Dawson.
Never heard of him.
Which edible plant did Popeye eat to gain superhuman strength?
Now there's a thing I know. That would be spinach.
That is correct. Spinach is the answer. Which is the most common name in the history of British monarchs?
Henry?
The answer is Edward, but I can see why you go with.
See, the thing is, I almost knew it was one of the two. I just didn't know which one. I knew that those were both incredibly common.
Actress
I almost
Selma,
went with Edward too. Sorry, yes, sir.
The actress Selma Hayek was born in which country?
Well, if they ask, it's probably nothing incredibly obvious. Canada? That's still relatively obvious.
You went the wrong direction. The answer is Mexico.
Well, who knew? Also, who cares? But, you know.
I thought you knew every actor ever in history.
I mean, I've heard of her. Like, that doesn't mean I know where she was born.
Have you ever seen her?
Yes.
And you can't tell from seeing someone if they're native to Mexico or Canada? You can't differentiate between that?
Dude, people of all sorts of ethnicities exist all around North America specifically, more so than most other places.
Okay.
Also,
the Merseyside... What?
Also, I low-key expected the answer to be not the most intuitive thing ever, but yeah, whatever. Can you just ask your question?
The Merseyside Maritime Museum can be found in which British city?
Well, if I knew where that river was, then I probably would know in which city it is.
You should
since
definitely know that river.
Since I do not know where that river is, now I'm just guessing British cities. Manchester, I don't know.
The answer is Liverpool.
Yes. See, there's a lot of British cities. There is a lot of British cities that one could know is the problem.
Yes, that's true. Which British pop idol winner had a 2004 hit with Leave Right Now?
Dude, 2000s pop music, that's not my jam. Just, I don't know.
The answer is Will Young. Will Young. In America, it is known as the car hood. What's it known as in the UK?
The hood? I actually don't know that. See, had you asked me what they called the trunk, I would have known that.
What they call the trunk?
Boot.
That doesn't count, though.
Yeah, no, I know, but I don't know that one.
Do you want to drop an answer or just pass?
I don't know, so I mean, there's no real point in guessing.
I will, full closure, I didn't know this either. They call it the bonnet. The car bonnet.
Fair enough, I guess. See, it would have been hilarious if you had if the answer had been they also call it the hood, and I would have just refused and just didn't even guess. It's like,
which U.S. swimmer holds the all-time record for Olympic gold medals with 23?
I don't know.
No, two you know, like the two famous ones. Three famous.
I don't know swimmers.
The answer is Michael Phelps.
I have heard that name before.
Surprise. Which color flag indicates that it is not safe to swim on a British beach? A lot of British questions here.
Oh my, how good that I'm not British, because otherwise it would be bad that I do not know this. Let's just guess red.
Red is the correct answer.
It's a warning color after all.
Yep. Concludes the second sheet. We will do one more and then call it for this topic.
I believe my score is now 13 to 21, so there's that.
Second sheet didn't treat you too well, huh? I gotta still try and go 500.
By the way, there's still a chance that I'm not tracking these perfectly correctly, but I'm just gonna assume that what I wrote down is correct. If you want to keep count yourself and like prove how I can't count, then feel free to do that.
Actually, let me remember it for next time. If we do this again, I will also keep count. Take a breather. I'm gonna sip some water here. You're talking a lot. Everyone out there, get your brains ready. And time to be JJ, I guess. Starting with the third and last sheet of this today's pub quiz round. The Killing Moon was a 1984 single by which post-punk group from Liverpool?
What did you say? Post-punk group from?
Liverpool.
Post-punk, huh? I don't even know what qualifies exactly. Is it by any chance the Sex Pistols?
The answer is Echo and the Bunnymen.
I had an inclination that the Pistols might just be punk, though. That's but they are British. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no, they are British, and
British. I don't know.
they have something to do with punk.
This is not. It's not my jam. Which has the largest diameter, the Earth or the Sun?
Wow.
You may answer.
The larger between the two would be the Sun. Calling it the largest seems misleading, given no context. But yeah.
Largest diameter. I mean, it was a question. That is next, I think. What was the ring name of American actor and professional wrestler Dwayne Johnson?
Well, I mean, the one he's most famous under would just be The Rock.
That is correct.
I assume that's what they want to hear.
Columbus, Cleveland, and Cincinnati are major cities in which U.S. state?
Oh my! I would have been okay if I had just gotten one of those. So there's that. It's Ohio.
That is correct. A little bit of bragging there. That's good. We want to see that.
Hey, come on! Those are like the three most famous Ohio cities too, probably, aren't they?
Probably true, actually. Yeah, probably true. Yeah, if not, if only because of sports, but probably true. In fact, which B is a style of cut which is squarish or chunky in style or appearance? Which B, that is the letter B, as in what does it stand for?
What? Can you read that again, please?
Fashion. Sorry. Which B, letter B, is a style of cut which is squarish or chunky in style or appearance?
Wait, is this an either-or question? Am I getting that right?
No.
No. Okay, so that is just which
fashion. Leave the last part in fashion. Which B, letter B, is a style of cut which is squarish or chunky?
Which B? I don't know. I don't even know what they want from me, honestly.
The answer is boxy, the box cut.
Okay, sure.
Indigo is the largest airline in which country in terms of passengers carried? Indigo.
I've never heard of it, so it's probably not around here. Indigo, the largest airline in the country, huh?
Answer here?
Wales. I don't know.
The answer is India. Hence Indigo.
Oh, that makes sense. I was thinking of the color.
Okay. Brothers Danny and Richard. Yeah. Brothers Danny and Richard McNamara formed which West Yorkshire rock band in 1990?
A rock band, a British rock band in the 90s. Mm-hmm. Boy, I probably know one or two of those, that being British rock bands from the 90s.
Yeah.
I can't think of one that would apply. I don't know, man.
The answer is Embrace.
Well,
which United States...
Am I not happy that I have never heard of those? I would have been a lot more disappointed if I could have gotten this.
Yeah, if you had. Which U.S. filmmaker won the Academy Award for Best Director for the films Saving Private Ryan and Schindler's List?
So basically the question is who directed those two films?
Yes.
That's definitely a name I would have heard of before. The question is just which one, and since I don't know, I'm just gonna throw out a completely random guess that is probably hilariously wrong to people that know what they're talking about. Is it Spielberg? I don't know. The
correct answer is Steven Spielberg. Yes.
Oh, nice.
You got it. Which
He is pretty
planet
well
is
known.
the largest? Yes, is the largest in the solar system.
It's one of the gas giants. I should know this. I really should know this. I'm not sure if I know this. I really should know this, though. Come on.
I don't need an answer here.
I hate that I don't know this for certain. Is it Uranus?
It's
No,
Jupiter.
is it even the gas? Is it even one of the gas giants? I'm not even sure.
I think so, but Jupiter is the largest, and Saturn is also still bigger.
Well, shows how much
would've
I know.
known this. Well, happens. Which of the well-known television presenter duo Ant and Dec is the oldest?
So this is an either-or question. If I understand this correctly.
Yeah.
I have never heard of either of them. What is it? Ant and
or
Dec?
Yes.
I'm gonna say Dec.
That is the correct answer.
Wow, I got a 50-50 right. I'm so proud of myself.
What was the nationality of the two botanists who first described the disease that devastated elm trees throughout Europe and North America in the second half of the 20th century?
Well, since it affected North America and Europe, I would assume that it is one of those countries. Well, one of the countries from those two continents. So that only limits it to like what, a couple dozen? What nationality were the botanists that blah 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 blah? French, I don't know.
I'm not going to count it because the answer is wrong, but let me answer the question. What European country is famous for flowers and botany?
Oh, the Netherlands?
Yes, they're Dutch.
Right, that makes sense. That does make sense, yeah.
Dutch is the answer. As of December 2016, which JM is the oldest living former British Prime Minister?
Former British Prime Minister with the initials JM.
Oh, you figured out that it's the initials. This should make it easy if you need people.
I don't know. I don't know politicians.
The answer, of course, is the devil's left-hand man himself, John Major. Devil is Margaret Thatcher, in case you didn't figure that out. People Will Say We're in Love is a show tune taken from which Rodgers and Hammerstein musical?
I don't know.
The answer is Oklahoma. We're getting into the final stretch. Last couple of questions. There were a few questions here. Often abbreviated to PI, what is the name for a person who can be hired to carry out covert investigation on behalf of clients?
See, that I have heard of. And I believe that PI stands for Private Investigator.
That is the correct answer. Who was the President of the United States for the Apollo 11 moon landing in 1969?
See, this is one of those that I probably should know, as we have so often said before.
Should know. Yes.
But I do not. So let's just hear it.
Guess.
I don't like guessing things that are going to be hilariously wrong. No.
The answer is Richard Nixon.
Yeah, I heard of the guy.
True or false? The first written reference to the card game blackjack is found in William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet.
Okay, this is a 50-50. I have good odds here. It seems like one of those things that... See, I never had to read it, is the thing. So I don't know if it is referenced there at all. But I'm just gonna guess yes.
The answer is false. It was actually in Miguel de Cervantes' Don Quixote.
Oh, I've heard of that guy.
And yeah, I've heard of that guy too.
He fights windmills.
Dan Castellaneta, yes, is an American voice actor, best known for which fictional character? Dan Castellaneta.
I actually do not know that name, so I don't know.
No
Unfortunately.
guess?
No.
The answer is Homer Simpson.
That is a famous character, yes.
Yeah. Okay, 3 more questions and then we're done. Along with Jack Nicklaus and Tiger Woods, who was only the 3rd player in golf history to win 3 majors by the age of 25?
The thing is, right? I know pretty much one golf player. And you named him already.
It's either one of the two. I'm not sure which one, but he was probably named.
I don't know, man. I don't
The answer
golf.
is Rory McIlroy. There's a lot of R's and O's in that name, and a lot of Y's too. Which U.S. actor played Soldier John Rambo in the Rambo film series?
Now, see, that is a question that I do know, and that would be Sylvester Stallone.
That is the correct answer. I would have struggled with this problem. Which English installation, last question, by the way, which English installation artist won the 2016 Turner Prize?
The Turner Prize, which we're all very familiar with.
All of them.
I don't know, man.
The answer is Helen Martin. Helen Martin.
Whom we're obviously also all very familiar with.
Very familiar. Watch her every day. This concludes the first ever JJ versus the viewers rapid fire trivia pop quiz extravaganza.
So if I didn't miscount, and I'm sure I did. If I didn't miscount, and I'm sure I did, it's 20 that I got right and 34 that I got wrong.
So the most important one is, of course, the number of the ones that you got right. It's correct. I'm sure you took. So JJ got 20 questions right. How many did you get? Let us know in the comments, and don't be cheating. Okay, we know if you cheat. Like if
the thing at this point is, of course, I can't compare myself to anyone yet because that will only happen later for me.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
For me, the goal was obviously to get more right than wrong, and
yes.
Well, as they say, better luck next time.
Didn't quite happen, but we can definitely do this again.
I think I was ahead after the first one, right? Or very close at the very least. The first set.
Yeah, after the first one, the first sheet you had most of them. The second sheet really did you in. I think for the most part, that was tough.
The third one was probably about as hard though as the second one.
I'm gonna save this bookmark if we ever return to it. Sounds like a good idea. Put your scores in the comments, and we will be going into the fact of the week before we put our own knowledge to the test again in some Sunday, Saturday crosswords. But JJ, first of all, what is your fact of this week?
Well, my fact of this week is about a term that seems relatively relevant right now, and that gets thrown around a lot, but I feel like never gets explained. And to be fair, the explanation is what you would think it is, but I still wanted to mention it. It is herd immunity, which, not that surprising, means that if enough people in a population are immune to a disease, the spread of that disease is very easily slowed, and thereby you're significantly less likely to get it. And I like how the Wikipedia article about this also happens to take a couple shots at anti-vaxxers, because of course it does. And because something that I discovered in this research is that there is something called the free rider problem. A free rider is basically someone who profits off of herd immunity by not being immune themselves, but the situation, so the idea is you don't feel like you need to get immunized because the disease doesn't really exist around you. If enough people feel that way, then that leads to the disease more easily spreading again. I wanted to... As the number of free riders in a population increases, outbreaks of preventable diseases becomes more common and more severe due to loss of herd immunity. Quote from Wikipedia, that also has like a million sources, where it's probably actually quoted from, but you get the gist. So yeah, get yourself vaccinated.
And that's important right now, of course, with the current epidemic, which that's what it is. It's technically not a pandemic, though everyone calls it that, because as people recover, they are no longer infectious and can't get it anymore. So the exponential curve is flattened out and falling. And that's actually relevant. I also have a science fact, believe it or not, and this one is also very recent because well, it's a bit longer story there, and it's going to get a bit more technical. But for like the base level, the interesting fact is that the definition or the meaning of the kilogram was changed as recently as when, Jay? We want to answer that?
I don't know when they changed it. I know what the old definition is, and it's ridiculous. So I like that they did change it.
They changed it last year in just 2019, and for over 100 years at the point, it was defined as.
Well, they had this actual kilogram weight. I believe it's made out of lead.
Mhm.
I'm not exactly certain on that.
So,
And
yeah,
it's
I
just
think so.
and it's just like something that weighs exactly as much as this thing weighs a kilogram.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which is
So
the worst definition ever, and I love it.
The kilogram upon which 4 of the other SI units are based, by the way, was defined by an actual physical object, which the obvious problems of that were evident whenever, due to corrosion over a couple of decades, that object changed its weight by a few micrograms. But anyway, in physics, that's important because it literally changed the kilogram. So actually, do you know what it was even before that, what the original definition was?
I don't, but I do
Interestingly.
know that they, interestingly enough, of the kilogram that we just talked about, they had multiple copies of as well that they shipped
Yep.
around the world. And because those were like touched more and stuff like that, they actually ended up differing a lot more in weight from the original
They
one as
all
well,
weigh different. Yeah, exactly.
which just
So
made it even worse.
even before that, I think it was actually a better definition, at least given the new problems that we knew. It was defined as the exact mass that a liter of water possesses at 4 degrees Celsius, at which its density is the highest. But
Okay, but how is
and I'm going to get.
volume and temperature defined? Because those would obviously then have to be independent of weight.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. Wait, the temperature Kelvin isn't dependent on the weight, right? In the definition of the
I
SI
don't
units,
think
I
so, and I
guess.
think wasn't length dependent on the frequency of something?
I'm not sure. Um, let's actually get into this because when I read out how this is actually now works with the more technical terminology, it'll all come together. So the kilogram right now, quoting, is defined by taking the fixed numerical value of the Planck constant, which is h, when expressed the unit JS, which is equal to kilogram times meter squared times second to the -1. Now, the Planck constant h is the frequency of a photon multiplied with its energy divided by its no. The Planck constant multiplied with the frequency of a photon results in the energy of said given photon. That's what it is. And
Okay.
that means that the kilogram is now defined over the Planck constant, which means that it is constant and not defined over a physical object. Which up until 2019, it was the only SI unit that was still defined by a physical object, and now it no longer is, which is.
I mean, there was
good.
a movement for a while. I'm not sure if that's still around to actually not have the SI base units have concrete have specific definitions that are like
Yeah,
unchangeable, but rather have a couple of universal constants be fixed, and then. But then the problem is if something changes with the calculation where it was inaccurate,
yeah,
then instead of changing the constant, you would be changing the SI base unit, which, while more
right.
convenient for a lot of scientific calculation, makes it a pain in the ass for anyone who works with those units on a daily basis, like regular
Exactly.
people, when it turns out that
Yeah,
your kilogram is actually like 950 grams of what you previously
yeah.
understood as grams. It's like, oh boy, what happened?
Yeah, that's not a good thing. No, there was actually an also a push to define, I believe, the kilogram over the amount of atoms in the silicon 28 sphere, and then use Avogadro's constant. But they decided to go with this one, and that just happened last year. So
I actually I had
yes,
heard of the proposal for
future is now.
silicon. Yeah, I had heard of that one.
Hmm.
Um,
They had like a perfectly round sphere of
wait,
lith
Avogadro's constant is for gases,
silicon.
isn't it?
Well, it's
Is
for, isn't it for atomic density in general? Like with the silicon-28 isotope, that they're like, it's like known for not having any like spaces between the atoms or something, and then they would define it over the amount. Like a kilogram would be like the amount of atoms of this stuff, and like, it's
And
weird.
pretty sure,
But
actually,
the way that they
I think
solved
this
it,
was also the idea was suggested actually in a video, I believe, where they had a silicon sphere that was like the roundest object in the world. I think there was a Veritasium video about that.
yeah,
Which
they made like their own. And it's like it's more valuable, but then again, you have another physical object there, though. Of course, it's connected to a theoretical concept,
I was
so
about to say
it can
it's
exist out.
it's a theoretical physical object. It's not a physical object that could be damaged or changed.
They just made it anyway. But yeah, now it's defined over Planck's constant, which is, I guess, best.
I'm actually you might not think it, but I'm actually very happy about that. That actually low-key
yeah,
bugs me. Like, it's not like that I would constantly be thinking about it, but whenever it did come up, I would always be a little miffed that the kilogram had such a dumb definition. It's hilarious, but it's dumb.
Especially
So,
since the majority of SI units are based with its in its definition. So that is a good thing. That's to the fact of the week from all that science stuff. The fact of the week, the halftime show. We did a lot of science right now. We're gonna do some more science right now. This is gonna be word science. Actually, this is more art than science when it comes down to it, because we are doing magic out here. Hopefully.
and since it is May right now, we are doing Christmas groups.
Oh yeah. What's Christmas groups? What's that supposed to mean? Reindeers?
I don't know.
Elves? Santa Claus? We'll see.
I mean, apparently there's 3 of them.
Okay, seems doable from the grid.
Group of 8, group of 9, and group of 10.
What?
That's what it says. I don't know, man.
I am confused.
There is Do Dash. Is it Dad? Is it Do That? Is it no? I don't know. Do what?
I don't know. God.
Grimace.
Like Scowl? Like this is all Christmas
Yes,
themed?
it is called. I don't know. Triad. I don't see why it would be.
Triad. Like a dark triad. The dark triad is a fascinating concept in business.
Well, the triad, as far as I'm aware, is the Chinese mafia. Group of 8, nothing but only. Yeah. Unusual. Actor Mineo.
Could unusual be odd?
It could very well be odd. That means that this word has 2 O's. Cattle calls. Is it moo? No, it's not moo. I don't know what they want.
It's moos. Several moos.
Oh.
The plural of moo. Yeah, God's sake.
Able to operate independently.
This is not good.
Regulations for teenage employment is child labor.
Law?
Yes.
Damn, son, that's big. That is huge.
Verbose is wordy, I suppose. It is. Is indebted to his O's? What?
Or you can just ball out. You could force a vowel into between the S and the L in the bottom left whenever you get time.
Oh, fair enough. It's probably Sal, because it's a name.
Nice.
Not guilty for 1.
A plea.
Oh, right. As in innocent and guilty pleas.
Yeah.
Triad 3. Oh, that makes sense. The group of 8 is something. It's something I desire.
Oh, dude, it's 12 Days of Christmas. It's 12 Days of 8 Maids of Milk, and that's what it is. Maybe the other ones were groups of something too. Milk King.
Okay,
what was the other
still don't know what this is about. Group of 9.
The song, what was it? 12 drummers drumming, 11 pipers piping, 10 was it Lords a leaping, 9 ladies dancing. That's what it was. Does that fit? Lords are leaping, and 9 ladies
Yes.
dancing. Yeah. 7 geese alive. Yeah. That's it. And fucking something Petrie thing, pear tree thing.
Able to operate
That's
independently, standalone.
Okay, now we got it wide open. Now we have it.
Yeah,
This should help.
humble. Well, I mean, you wouldn't know, I suppose.
Shut up.
Hasty, quick. Does it fit?
Doesn't fit in there. No. Rapid.
Rapid. Hello Singer is Adele. That's not how you spell it. But is it Adele with a 1 L? Okay. Halloween wear. Mask?
Yes. A mask, yeah.
French possessive.
To get the cross ones, probably, though.
Hindu deity Rama, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Genesis man is Adam. That is as in the book of the Bible, not as in
the guy.
North American capital. What? North American capital. PES. In my opinion,
capital as in money, as in peso.
Oh, I was about to say it. I was about to say it. It's Washington. It is Mexico City, and then yeah.
Nice.
Spelling contest B. Large vase. Jar? No, those aren't large.
Jar.
Jug.
No. Urn.
Urn. Yes.
That's more of a vase, right? Yeah.
Visibly embarrassed. Cease is end. Before poetically is and McDonald's combo is burger, which red is just okay. That's embarrassed, just red. Okay,
yeah,
burger.
Is it burger and fries? That's what it is.
Dude, the long ones are actually really good because if you get them partial, you just have half the crossword done.
All out.
Whoops, I meant to. Space. Aviation prefix is arrow. Spoken.
Oral.
Oh, yeah, that does make sense. And then we have appliance brand. Model Campbell is Naomi. Open country used for grazing.
Probably farmer, man, not a rancher.
Suffix with pay or schnoz.
Hola.
The appliance brand, we have a couple extra letters, but we don't necessarily need. Land measure is an acre. Yep. Formerly is knee. Beach footwear is sandal, I suppose.
Yes.
Hubbub. It says hubbub. HUBBUB.
Cool.
Humble. Okay. Oh, right, we had that before.
It could be modest, right?
Oh, it could be modest, yes.
You know, like when you're poor, you come from modest beginnings.
Miner's target is ore. I feel like they've had that question like 3 times already in this series. Sandbox toy.
A pail.
What?
A pail. PAIL.
PAIL.
We should get the across one.
That is correct. Regions is areas. Areas. Let's do these across ones. How about it? Big name in oil.
Mumble. And you can force a vowel into the open space in the center.
I mean, I could also just see what the question is. Printer need is toner.
Yeah.
That would also help. What did you say something about the oil thing?
Mobile.
Oh, mobile. Because I didn't catch that. Shortly. Arctic mass.
Oh, berg, iceberg.
Queen of the fairies is mob, and wild dog is a dingo.
Dingo.
So that means that shortly is anon. Okay,
Anon?
fair enough.
Does that mean anonymous? Whatever.
I thought so. Take on me band is aha.
Uh-huh.
The instant, this instant is now.
Now.
And affirmative word is yes. Notable stretches of history, eras, I suppose. Clobber is... Wait, smash is too long. I don't know. Pummel. Virtual people in a game series are those non-player characters? No, they're not.
Sims.
Is it Char? No, that would be just a single one. Sales agent for short.
Are you gonna ignore my answer, or are you gonna try it out?
What did you say? I didn't...
Sims.
Oh, Sims, yes.
Yes.
Sales Raps then. 1 und 2. They want... They're numbers.
Easy.
You should have
Easy.
just said...
They're German number.
1,2... ...
German. ... in German, yeah.
Because now you want the next number, but you say the first and second.
Yeah.
It's like you don't say 1 and 2, and then the answer. They mean plus. They mean plus.
Maybe.
Maybe
for non-Germans, it's actually more intuitive that way because all you have to recognize is, this is German counting numbers. Easy, I know it's.
Song of Praise. Is it a psalm? It is.
Yeah.
Bridge positions.
Bridge positions. We're talking.
There's also
shade
of green is P, which means that these are easts.
Easts.
And then what was this? Oh, wait. How's Clobber pelt? I don't get it.
Pelt. Oh, to pelt something. Yeah.
Oh, I guess, pelted. Yeah. Tear off pieces. Tear
Everything
2 pieces,
sounds aggressive. Everything can mean clobber if you just say it aggressively. Tear pieces, I don't know.
Wait, is it shred, actually? Yes, it is. Accumulate. I don't know. 180 slangily.
What?
Jacob's brother. Oh, Esau. Right. Alas. Here's hoping. Is it pray? No. Here's hope. Oh no, it's here's hoping ... I still don't know what they want exactly. Open country used for grazing, right? We had that before. It's probably something land, but I don't know.
Lands.
What?
Something with lands at the end.
Lands.
Rangelands. Rangelands could be it.
It is rangelands.
Yes.
Asian nation is Iran.
Yeah. Could have been Iraq, but would have been weird.
That's what I was thinking, but that would have been... Winter ailment is the flu.
It.
And what do we have here? NJ neighbor. What is next to New Jersey, my dude?
Delaware. That starts with DEL, so Del.
Okay, fair enough. Accumulate is something with A and N. What?
A mass?
A mass, right, yes. 180 slangily is you something. Alas is AHM something, and here's hoping I pray.
I pray. Okay. What letters? I mean, I don't even know. I don't know either. I can't kick over either one of those on a good way. We have 7 minutes. We win. GG, y'all. Easy.
Wait,
win.
Is that? No, it isn't. I'm confused.
Listen, it's these. Q, it's W, it's E, it's R. You know the deal.
It's E.
There we go.
Actually,
it's E. That was actually pretty quick. We made it again. What's that speak? 6, 7?
I don't know. I'm more confused by how 180 is UA. What?
Yui. Listen, we won the quiz, okay? We won the quiz, all right? We made it. That's the most important thing. That's what, a streak of 7, 8? Like we're unbeatable. Like we are getting too good for these. But we're gonna keep going until we find the one that's gonna knock us off.
And
Which
I
will
have
happen
an
for sure.
inclination that we have a decent chance at the next one.
What's it
The
called?
theme of which is David Bowie songs.
So that's what you're gonna carry then, because I can help like with like 3 of them maybe. Actually, how many David Bowie songs can I name off the top of my head? Like 1 or 2? I don't know. It's not a lot. Does Under Pressure
Um,
count? Then it might be 3.
I mean, Under
Ah,
Pressure, if it counts, is a good point. I mean, there is Starman, there's Ziggy
Starman.
Stardust, there is Changes, Suffragette City.
Heard of that one?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hero is a very
You know,
famous
like
one.
5% of all David Bowie songs, and I know 2. And
Listen, I
you
know
think we're
more
gonna be
David
good
Bowie
at this?
songs than the average person. Okay.
Worldwide average, yeah. Okay.
I was
That's
about to
true.
say
That's like
it ain't
saying
that hard.
I owe that. That's like saying I have more money than the average person, because there's like 3 billion
Oh,
farmers in Central Asia.
dude, I feel dumb now. Let's
What
Dance,
up?
Modern Love, and Moon Age Daydream are ones that I should have
I've
definitely been
heard.
able to get.
I mean, none of those ring a bell. I mean, I'm not a big Bowie fan anyway. I like Starman. Starman's good, but yeah,
See,
I'm gonna have you
in
read
my
up on some
collection
Bowie
right
songs.
now. In my collection right now, I have Changes, Let's Dance, Modern Love, Moon Age Daydream,
Uh,
Starman, and Suffragette City. So that's
okay,
6 of them.
well, that's something.
And
Oh, we'll
again,
see.
like you have a couple of them that you just know, right? Like Ziggy Stardust. It's like
No, I
literally
know,
who the
no,
guy is, right? So
never heard of it, but I'm gonna let you carry that. Why not? JJ, I got a question. Heavy hitter. Maybe a pretty good. This is a debate topic, by the way. This is the full second topic, and imagine a world in which non-human animals were able to talk, or at least communicate intelligently in a basic verbal way. How do you think the world would change? Would it change fundamentally? And for you personally, what would be your views on meat eating or pet ownership, for example?
well, I mean, if you can hold an intelligent conversation with them, you would have to consider what certain rights you would have to extend to them, right? Because if they're intelligent enough to hold a conversation, then I probably couldn't eat them in good conscience, unless, well, the same argument that I have for cannibalism obviously applies there too, right? Where it's like, if they
Stay
are
dead.
already dead and they're tasty, then I might as well eat them, right? So,
Uh-huh. JJ, by the way,
but
thinks that cannibalism is perfectly all right. If the person is dead, JJ would eat human meat if it were available at the store. He would get it and eat it without questions asked. He would do that. Yeah.
But I mean,
Listen, if you're gonna
I would definitely listen. If there was a store selling human meat, I would definitely want to know how they source it. Don't get me wrong, but
if you're gonna sue somebody, please just sue him. Okay, I'm not. Listen, I'm distancing myself from all these statements being made. All right, what type of first question for you? What type of level like are we talking about here? Are they
that's the question, right?
able to be like some animals are able to react to basic stuff. Like you can train a dog to memorize like 10 to 20 commands and then act accordingly when told. And like certain primates show some intellectual ability, or are we talking about like they're flat out people, like they're like Brian Griffin, basically, where the dog is the most intelligent individual in the house, which is scarily true, of course.
Probably the second one right after the baby, huh? Stewie is also
All
pretty
right, yeah,
clever.
right. Okay, like pure
But yes, the
intellect,
fact that the
actually.
baby and the dog are the most intelligent people in the household is,
Yeah, the dog might be the
under normal
wisest.
circumstances, saying a lot about the people.
Yeah, yes, exactly. But they are both very highly sentient and smart, of course. So if we're talking about the latter, like the Brian Griffin situation, then I mean, we would have to basically treat them like people because he is a person. I mean, he has got the full consciousness of a person. He has on more than one occasion, it has been stated in the show that he has a right to vote and he has a right to get into public places and drink and drive and all that. Not drink and drive, but he can drink and he can drive on separate occasions. Like even humans are allowed to do both at the same time. But both
Yeah, I'm always
individually, he's allowed
confused
to do.
because, like, on the one hand, he very much is a dog. On the other hand, he very much is a person, right? It's like
He's a person.
Like, he has shown interest in regular dogs. It's
Yes,
and he's shown interest in people. It's like, now I'm just
he
confused.
does dog stuff. Exactly. He sometimes does dog stuff and he does human stuff, basically. Right? He's more of a person than he's a dog, behaviorally speaking. Like 99% of the time, he's a human. Sometimes they play him being a dog for a joke. Like, for example, he'll be having an intelligent political conversation with the neighbor, and then a squirrel walks by and starts chasing it like a wild animal, right? But that's when we play for jokes. So he's, by all definitions, to me, he would be he should have civil rights. If that sort of individual, I mean, they have to have civil rights, right? He's a civilized being and basically a person. So
yes.
We're talking at that level.
Well, technically, he would have to have human rights. To have civil rights, he would have to be a citizen of a country. But
yeah, which I think he is, I guess, because I mean, he can vote. He is.
I mean, yes, in that case, he specifically would be. But the question, of course, is a bit more generalized here. But I suppose that the animals, were they that intelligent, would presumably also assume citizenships of some sort.
Yes, and I think they should too, because there's no reason not to. I mean, they're on the same level functionally as people at this point. So they should be differentiated against in terms of civil liberties and voting rights even. I think the more important one is though when we get to like the fringe cases where they're slightly more smart than they are today, or maybe not even smart, but just able to express whatever they think in an understandable manner for us.
I think the world would be a different place. I think a lot of people would treat them more respectfully. I wouldn't be surprised if meat for food was less common, if not even frowned upon. But the thing is, if an animal thinks on the level it does right now and just happens to be able to express that in a linguistically understandable way, right? Like, say the cow, right? Nah, cow's a bad example because they eat grass and that's right. Say a dog, right?
A dog
that's a
just
good example.
Flat out just vocalize. Listen, I need to go take a dump instead of standing at the door like facing out.
Right. The dog is instead of barking at you, he's shouting, "I'm hungry! I'm hungry! I'm hungry!" Yeah. Like, that doesn't change anything about how intelligent he is. The way they express it is just more understandable to you. At that point,
they just express it.
Should not be a difference relative to how we treat them now, but there would be, and honestly, I would be even less interested in having pets, because that's kind of creepy.
For sure, because they be talking. That's weird. Exactly. Also, like, unintended side consequences, right? But like insects, flies, and those spiders and bugs everywhere. They can all talk now? Like, you can hear them constantly?
Oh boy. That would be an issue.
Because if you're walking around though, outside, to be fair, and all the birds flying above your head just probably shouting profanities at each other.
They would have about the same level of sound as they would normally, though, right? So instead of insects buzzing in your backyard, they would now be like saying things very quietly, and you would have to get close to actually hear what they're saying. But, birds, they are relatively loud. I give you that.
You can hear birds. Imagine them just flying around talking, shouting.
Wouldn't that be weird? Oh my.
Would be weird.
You know what I just thought about?
What?
The weirdest part about that is, of course, that one of the very core things that animals do is attract mates and reproduce and all that stuff. There would be a lot of just like basically animals trying to solicit
probably
sexual partnerships with each other, right?
So we
that is weird.
So we assume basically that only they vocalize whatever they think. So you're not gonna hear any like intelligent or higher thinking stuff, right? You have a bird flying by, and be like, "Oh, there's a worm right there. I'm gonna eat it." That's basically. I imagine they have accents like that. Why not? I wish birds talked. Another one. How about the zoo though? How about the zoo? Like you go in the zoo and you're being yelled at from 20 different sides.
Yeah, I think there wouldn't be a zoo.
Probably not, right? Because no
Because
one
that
would
would
come
be
to visit
weird.
either. Yeah, it'd be unbearable. Be like, yo, no, I'm not
Also,
going.
to
Exactly.
be fair, that would still help a little bit with animal mistreatment and stuff like that, right? Because if there's like
I think so.
a circus elephant that is not being treated well, you'd hear of it. That guy would like spill all the
He'll
beans.
let you know. He'll let you know for sure. Also, maybe like in terms of hunting, might be tougher because you're trying to like sneak up and then like hunt. But they'll be like, "Yo, get off me, man! Get the fuck away from me, bro!" Like they'll be shouting at you, and be like, "Yeah, just fuck off." Also, be kind of weird, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know, but so for the question itself, they could communicate in a basic intelligent manner. Assuming just so that way it's relevant to actually in the hypothetical, um, they don't gain an intelligence just to vocalize their already present thoughts. And I agree with what you're saying in practice. It would change stuff, though it of course logically shouldn't. But then the question is, of course, what does that imply? So
That our
since it's
world is
not a
wrong
lot,
right now, or that world would be wrong, is what you're saying, right?
exactly.
And I say a bit of both.
Both?
And
Okay.
of course, apes come to mind, right?
Right.
Because the one thing, or the biggest thing that is different for them than for us, is the way they express themselves. They don't quite have human level of intelligence, but arguably they are close enough to the point that you should treat them well. And in a lot of regards, we don't. Not saying that you should specifically try to treat animals poorly, but it's like holding them in cages and stuff.
They're still
not
like just
exactly.
locked up in a zoo and stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And they are very intelligent compared to like if you think about like human history, right? They have basic tool use, which puts them at the very least at like Stone Age human level. Mm-hmm. That isn't too far removed from where we are now.
It's quite far removed in that sense, but it's still pretty close. Like it's still going to be very close compared to all the other non-human.
Exactly, right?
So like they might be able to like even learn a bit of language, like actually understand what you're saying, and then like have basic conversation.
I mean, yeah, perfect example, of course, is Coco, right? The gorilla whom they taught some sign language. So she could communicate intelligently. She wanted a cat. They thought she would break it, so they got her a stuffed toy. She realized it's fake. Eventually, they did give her a cat, and she did not crush it. So
I like a cat. He's gonna break the cat, as in like
Dude, those things have a lot of strength, and they just figured she would accidentally hurt the cat. But she was very careful with the cat.
Just saying the word break in that context is very weird because it's like an object. Like
okay, listen, I'm a weird person, but the point is, we have pretty much proven that monkeys, or I should say apes, but maybe it extends to the regular monkeys to some degree,
but definitely bigger apes,
reasonably intelligent. And so, arguably, the way we treat them right now, probably suboptimal.
Yeah, that's true. Last one, though, or maybe on another note, the whole consumption stuff. So, would you still eat meat if animals talked?
If their intelligence level didn't increase, I would say probably yes. But I assume that the entire society, that being our society, would probably be very different to the point where I might be different enough that I would not say yes. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, we assume it's just literally just it happens. Like tonight at midnight, every non-human animal gains the ability to just talk, to vocalize themselves.
If it's that, then for me personally, nothing would change. But the problem is, of course, if wider scale changes were to happen, that would potentially still impact me in a practical sense. But I
Yeah.
would say that logically, just because they can now express when they're hungry and when they have to take a dump or whatever, that just doesn't really change anything.
All right. So the thing is that in practice it wouldn't change anything, assume on your side at least, because it's not like you witness the animals that you consume alive or anything, right? They show up on your plate, like ready to go, basically, right? So that would be to like to the actual processing plant employees to deal with and mess with. Whenever they show up in the morning and there's like a huge cattle ranch and they open the doors and they're and like 500 cows are yelling in their face like, yo, let me get me out of here, bro. That might be the problem, because no one would want to work there anymore because it's
The
fucking
thing is,
weird.
I'm not even sure if cows really would necessarily, depending on how they're held, would
Yeah.
necessarily even desire change if they're on open grassland. They have
Okay,
everything that they
pigs.
want, which is to say, grass. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, no.
because pigs are smart.
Listen, right? Pigs is one of the, honestly, in terms of like the whole meat thing, probably the one of the, if not the most questionable one in terms of how we have the entire procedure, right? Because those things
Because
are
they're
not
highly
exactly
intelligent.
living
Yeah,
happy lives. They are like being overfed to the brim, and they
yeah,
are oftentimes being held in very small spaces. I think
yeah.
they're
To
probably,
basically like just like they'll be stuffed from day one, and then like they live just a couple of weeks, I think, and then they're basically killed instantly.
yeah. I think in terms of meat processing, that's probably one of the worst ones. I know that chickens also can sometimes have issues that they coop them too close in too close
Yeah,
spaces and they start killing each other and shit. Also not exactly fun. The thing is, right, when they say you don't want to know how the sausage is made, they mean that very literally.
they do mean it. So,
And
but like, just imagine you're
to be fair,
the
I do have
farmer,
a
right?
vague idea. Yeah, yeah, no, I get that. Yeah.
Like you're the farmer, you walk in there, you're like, yo, and like 1,000 chickens just capping at you in the morning. Like instead of just, I mean, you're used to the noise, right, or the pig, right? You're used to the noise, you're used to the smell and the hard work and whatever. But like all of a sudden, the noise is actual human speech.
Yeah,
Just now exactly what they think.
I was about to say, it's not like anything changes, you're just more acutely aware of their exact
Yeah,
happenstance. And the thing is, you have to consider that those are still not self aware. So what they're saying is still very spur of the moment sort of stuff, right? That means
yeah.
if you were to take them out of like if you raise them in like a miserable environment, then you put them in a nicer one. It's like not like you're gonna forever hear about how it used to be. They're just
No,
gonna
no,
be like, oh,
they would only
there's food here.
complain as long as they are. But
Yeah.
then like you
Of-
let them out and be like, yo, okay, cool. But I mean, still like, uh, it'll be weird. I think that's where the biggest drop off would be in the processing plants when people don't want to work there anymore because they don't want to get capped. Yeah,
but that's yeah, but you know why that is, right? That's the whole uncanny valley thing, right? Where it's like it's
yeah, it's just weird.
weird. Yeah, it's weird because it's kind of it's like it's too close to a human to like it's not far enough away that it's like not weird, but it's also not close enough to be a human, so it's weird.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not good at explaining that, but yeah, no, I mean you are from. I mean, most people are probably familiar with the uncanny
yeah, yeah.
valley.
Of
It's like if something
course,
looks vaguely like a
so,
human, it's cute. If it looks nothing like a,
realistic.
if it looks that's with the with robots is a perfect example, right? When they have those robot-looking robots, like when you think robot,
Like an
they look
R
like
two D
that.
two, right? Like damn straight R2D2 or something.
For
It's like,
example,
oh yeah,
I was thinking a little
that's
more
cool.
human almost, but yeah, that's just that's like cute, right? But
But then like
then you
imagine
get
a
a regular
mannequin
human, then
with
they're a
like a
human, and then
face.
if you have one of those, yeah, if you have, dude, those robots when they have like they look like humans pretty much,
Yeah,
but their
but not really.
articulation isn't exactly precise,
And they move
right? When it's
weird.
like
They move
yeah,
mechanically.
exactly. When
Yeah.
like they're like their face looks weird when they're making
Yeah.
faces and stuff, and it's just like, oh, I don't
Yeah,
know about
exactly.
this.
I'm not sure how this is with speech, but probably a similar situation. I think a lot of people will just be like, "This is weird. I'm not going to work here because these animals are talking. That's not okay." So I think that's probably what the biggest drop off would be,
Yeah, and
in
I
my
assume
opinion.
that
But
to be fair, I assume that the demand would also go down. I assume that a lot of
Oh
people
yeah,
would rethink their meat eating choices if that were the
probably
case.
because it's not like they know nothing really like changed about the situation itself, but just the awareness would all of a sudden be there
Yeah,
for sure.
I
How
think
about
that would.
pets and pet ownership? We'll continue.
That seems worse. I've said it before, right? This is a lot weirder
Is it
than eating
worse?
the meat because now you have a pet that talks to you. That's
Yeah,
weird.
but isn't that also cool? Like the problem, it would be best, of course, if they did that and they were Brian Griffin. So not only can they now speak, but they're also intelligent, right? That would be
But
cool.
then it's slavery.
Is it slavery?
If you're holding them
I
as
mean,
pets,
I
if you're
mean,
holding an intelligent being as a pet, that's not exactly
I
great.
mean, he can go. He knows how to open the door. He can go outside if he wants to. He's an intelligent being. I mean, it's not like technically a pet at that point, like the
I was
way
about to
that
say
it's currently
you can't
used.
hold an intelligent being as a pet. That's the problem.
It's like imagine like a 6-year-old kid, right? Is it like slavery to not let a 6-year-old kid wander out the house by itself and stuff?
Parenting is not the same thing as slavery, and also, it's not like they're intelligent human beings.
Well, yes, they are, and assume like
Well, they
on
will be.
a dog is a dog on the same like level, right? Or maybe a bit smarter, but like you could say the same thing like 16-year-olds, right? They can't just they don't have the full rights of an adult individual. They can just hang out all night by themselves and stuff. They're still bound to certain regulations, and even assuming that the pet is like treated like a complete adult with the full civil rights, like are you only stuck up on the term pet ownership?
I mean, yeah, you should not be able to own an intelligent being. That's very problematic.
Right, then let's not call it that, right? But say just you got a dog or you got a cat.
So basically, what you're saying is you're living together with something that looks like an animal but is intelligent as a human. It's basically
Yeah,
like you're basically roommates with them.
yeah, exactly. That's my homie. There's a
Sure.
dog. He can leave the house whenever he wants to, come back whenever he wants to, can
Also,
drive
by
a
the way,
car and he can go bump.
you kind of low-key made another point that I thought was interesting about the first scenario, which we barely talked about,
Yeah,
which is if they have full human intelligence, they obviously still their ability sets are very different, which would create a fascinating society, I think.
that's
Because
true.
obviously, one thing that a lot of them are missing are opposable thumbs, right? Those are important. But
Big.
then some animals also have skill sets that humans don't have, right? Imagine how much better bomb sniffing dogs would be if they had human level intelligence. Granted, you would probably have to
Oh,
pay them,
dude.
but you
Yeah.
know.
And you
But
know what?
also,
If
like,
they're smart humans, they would charge a lot because they know how good they are too. That's actually cool.
I mean, there's other stuff like that, right? Where it's like, how great of a spy would like a raptor be, right? Those have great eyesight generally. They are fast.
After or
They're
just an insect,
small.
like a fly,
A
a bird.
raptor, like a falcon or a hawk.
No, but yeah, but like yeah, like a bird or maybe like a small insect or something, a mouse. Those would be great spies. It's true.
Yeah, that too. Of course.
So we're assuming that it's just the brain that changes, right? Because like again, the Brian Griffin example, he also seems to have the motor skills. Like he can turn doorknobs and like hold spoons and tools and stuff.
Yeah, I was thinking just intelligence because otherwise you just
Yeah.
if you're anthropomorphizing them too much, you're just saying, well, now we just have humans and by our standards, weird humans, right? It's like
Humans
great.
in animal
We have humans
bodies.
with fur,
Exactly.
whatever. Right?
Yeah,
Who
exactly.
cares?
That's pretty much what it is. So it's tough to kind of create the amalgamation there that would be suitable for every situation. But yeah, I think overall it'd be kind of cool. I don't know. It depends on how like the annoyance factor is sort of the biggest risk. I think like
Yeah, and
every
if you go into
grasshopper, every bird,
yeah,
you know.
if you go into human level intelligence, I mean, first of all, if literally every animal had it, that's actually getting really weird because especially when you get into like insects and stuff, you might
Yeah,
have to have some sort of limitations where it's like air breathing vertebrae or something. But yeah, that would be definitely be interesting. It would generally be interesting to live in a on a planet, in an environment, in a society, whatever you want to go with, where there is multiple different intelligent species.
Yeah.
The problem with that is we've already seen that if you have one species with slight cosmetic differences, that can already lead to a bunch of nonsense, and those differences are very minimal. Have I ever mentioned that
Yes.
humans don't vary enough to technically have subspecies?
No,
Humans don't
that
vary
is
enough to
correct.
technically
They
have
call them
subspecies. There's
races.
there's yeah, no, but there is a value that you can calculate based on like genetic variants. I don't know the exact math anymore, but it's like, if it's like, let's just say if it's like a 1, then your species is actually a subspecies, right? And if it's like, and then it's like dogs are like 0.3 or something, where it's like technically they're also just Canis familiaris, but they are still slightly different breeds. And then like humans are like 0.1, and it's like there's like basically no differences. And
exactly. Which,
so,
I mean, no
yeah.
one claims that there's different human species, I think.
No, but the
Another
point is that
hypothetical.
racism is dumb, and so is eugenics, because there is that goes back to the whole eugenics thing, right? Where it's like they're literally saying that certain groups of people are different and they're like less intelligent and whatever, and then thereby they should be removed from the gene pool. Blah blah blah. Doesn't work. It doesn't even make sense. But hey, whatever. You want to say something?
The interesting moral problem that would pop up in such a society. So imagine with the animals being of equal intelligence. Like you're moving into a house, right, with a big, like you got a backyard and everything. You just bought the property or purchased the property, whatever. You move into the house, and then there's a mole in the backyard. Like there's a mole, right? For like you definitely can't remove anything because it's. I mean, he's got equal rights. That's his home. And then even would it be on you to vacate the property because they were there first?
Well, I mean, to be fair, if they are human level intelligence and they are considered citizens of the country, and I own the property, then I am very much allowed to remove them, as I would anyone squatting on my property. Because they would then, in terms, probably be allowed to own property themselves. That then creates the problem that there's not enough property to go around for every intelligent being on this planet.
Okay, assume no property. Assume no property ownership. You're in the park. There's a fly on the bench, right? Just sit on the bench. Can you just sit down, or do you have to ask the fly to get up? If he says no, you can't sit on the bench.
I mean, I could probably ask if they're reserving space for anyone, because there's probably enough space for both of us. But I guess you would have to if it had human level intelligence. It would only be right,
a band of flies, like a bunch of flies on the whole bench on either end. You can't just shoot them, right? And just sit down because they're fellow citizens. So that's
weird. And that is why it gets problematic if you extend it to insects, because there's way too many of those, right?
Yeah, even better. They are of equal intelligence, but they don't have the corresponding rights, and it's just a moral question.
See, that's what I was talking about, right? If they had human level intelligence, you bet your ass there would still be a lot of speciesism for a long while, because we've barely gotten all humans to be technically equal.
Yeah.
And like,
have we?
Again,
I mean, like you're
minimal.
talking very Western. You're talking very Western here. Like literally half of the women in the world are not equal citizens at this point. We like in the West don't understand anything about it. There's more slaves in the world now than there were at the height of the Atlantic slave trade in like the 1700s.
Yeah, that's true actually. But yeah, see that's my point, right? It's like, if we can't even figure out humans as an equal society, how the hell are we supposed to now deal with like hundreds of different species all being of equal intelligence?
Exactly.
Oh my.
But that's just interesting thought experiment then.
That's the thing, right?
Like 2 mice or rats.
Whichever species is able to now adapt best under those circumstances would just rule and subjugate all the others. Not because it's right, but just because it's what they would do if they are like humans.
If they are like humans, yeah.
And the thing is, it would probably be humans or some variety of ape, because you have to have tool use. If you have tool use, then you have machine guns. That means you win.
Yeah, you got
right?
the weaponry. You're building tanks and shit. Exactly.
Like,
Man, imagine
yes, we
that,
would
like
probably
total war
lose
between
to.
all war between all the world's species.
Oh boy. I'm definitely
That
gonna
would be
bet
massive
some
civil
money on
war
the
probably.
emus because they won against humans before.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna bet some money on permanent extinction though, because like you kill off one important like you kill off bees or something, or some important species, everything goes to shit.
Yeah,
Or you kill off birds or whatever. So
not to
that's a problem.
mention that of course you have with all of the different types of great apes and monkeys, even anything that has thumbs, right, is capable of weapons and tool use, and those would be the most problematic ones to each other.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
yeah, no, we know that global
They'd
scale
be
wars aren't
building
fun.
guns in a quickly, dude. Can you imagine just monkeys coming up with guns? Yo, get off my land, bro.
I mean, listen, right? At first, I would if it just happened now that all of a sudden everything gained that intelligence. First of all, huge issue. Second of all, yeah, no, the monkeys would be the first ones to fight us, and they would probably steal our guns. And I think they made a movie about that once.
The Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, the newer Planet of the Apes movies are
Uh,
literally about how they gave monkeys human intelligence and the ability to speech, the
um,
ability of speech, I think, and then they like rebelled. And I actually didn't see any of those. I actually haven't seen a single Planet of the Apes movie,
Didn't see him either.
but I know that in the trailers they rode horses, so there's that. Which is
Interesting, yeah. It's tough,
which
tough.
listen, right? Actually, pretty cool imagery, right? Like a monkey, an ape riding a horse. That's pretty
How about a horse?
awesome, right? What? Did you say a horse riding a
Oh,
horse?
yeah, a horse riding a horse.
That does not seem
Just
practical.
a much smaller horse riding a much bigger horse for physical reasons. But yeah, interesting thought experiments. Let's debate about it in the comments, and let's hop into the song of the week because we're going for a while here. But yeah, what would be like both situations, right? They can speak, but they are on the same level of intelligence, or they are flat out Brian Griffin. Should they be fully included in society with civil rights and everything? Songs of the week, JJ. As you take a sip of water, what is your song of the week?
My song of the week is Army of the Night by Powerwolf.
That was never used? Was that never used, JJ?
There's a decent chance it was never used. I definitely have used a Powerwolf song or two. I'm not sure if I've used that one specifically.
It's a pretty good song. It might be the best Powerwolf song.
See, because I had initially picked out a different Powerwolf song, but then I was like, you know what? This one is better.
It's better. What did you have initially?
I initially had We Drink Your Blood, but I want to say I might have used it already as well.
Yes, you definitely have at least once, and this one is very much better. It might be the best Powerwolf song that is out there at the moment. So I've told you before we started that I'm going to do something a little unconventional with the song of the week. It's not very unconventional, but I'm going to use a song that was used before. However, it was not used by us. It was not used by us. It was used by a guest that we once had. And I'm going to use this song to make something right because I was wrong about something, and I'm here to own up to that and make it right. My song of the week is Down Rodeo by Rage Against the Machine. Let me be the first, but the follower to say it. It's a phenomenal song. It's really good. It was used by Smokey, I believe, on our last cooperation podcast. To this date, I feel like a couple of months.
It was very recent. It was comparatively recent for sure. I'm not sure if it was the last one, but
it was the one where you used something like like Valhalla or something, you had some fight song. There was some like some metal type of song, and Hollywood had some disgusting mumble rap, and Smokey had this one.
Yeah, I
So
mean Hollywood songs tend to be the worst. I think that's
it
just
was he had Cody and Crazy, right? It was of course garbage, but he used Rage Against the Machine, and obviously edited the podcast, and I found all the songs, and I was like, "Yo, let me listen to them," because I hadn't listened to their songs, and I'm forced to when I edited, of course. So I was like, "Yo, that's all right, that's all right." JJ's song, and then Smokey's song was like sort of the same, like and then I don't know how, but like by God's grace, like weeks later, I decided, you know what? There might have been like this little spark in the initial time I heard it. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go listen to that song again. What was that song that Smokey had? Let me just go listen to that song one more time. And I did. I was like, okay, okay. A couple days later, same thing. Like, okay, I'm gonna go listen to that again. And it got to the point where I decided, let me actually put this in my watch later. Not sure if I'll download the thing or I might listen to it again, but I'll just put it there. And I put it there, listened to it a couple more times. Time passed. I'm like, this song is pretty good. Time passes. I download the song, listen to it more, listen to it in the car, at work, in the gym, listen to it all the time. Yo, this song is actually pretty good. Skip fast forward to present day. Do not be shocked if this song appears on my top 10 list for the year 2020 once everything is said and done. Because so far, every single time that I've heard the song, I thought more highly of it than the last time or the previous time, which is quite interesting. Going from first impression being like neutral to almost I don't really like to this is really good. So that is my almost public apology, the way that it sounded. Yes, this is a very good song, Smokey. I was wrong to say it wasn't in the beginning. You were ahead of me there. It's a good song, and it's my song of the week because of that. So I just set the score right. You're still wrong on most things concerning the sports, but this one, yeah, you're correct. I'm in full agreement. By the way, we're talking about Hollywood Smokey, the Trash Talkers. Their channel is linked on ours. Go check them out. They're really cool. But yes, that's that. And I don't know if you've ever heard the song ever since that podcast, but I would highly recommend going back, picking up like a lyrics video, and just like paying attention to it and listening to it. You might actually find that it's pretty good the more you listen to it. But yeah, that's my song of the week right there.
yeah, that happens.
Rant over, I guess. So thank you for watching the video. Drop a like on it if you did enjoy, and go ahead and let us know your song of the week in the comments. Other than that, you can join our Discord server as always, link in the description. And we are going to see you in the next one. JJ.
That's it.
That's it.